Hello everyone, this is Damon with Pixnub Software, and in this video I'm going to be discussing the empty space fill setting that we have inside of the Portrait Crop plugin. Now I'll first zoom out just to show you here what can happen if you crop closer in camera than you're trying to make a crop in Portrait Crop. You end up with this empty space. So I guess it's a good time to point out that if you're going to do batch processes with large numbers of images, you're best to shoot a little bit loose on the zoom. That way you ensure that you're not cropping too close in camera. However, there's probably going to be a time when you accidentally crop too close in camera, and that's what this setting is for. So there's three options here. There's transparency, there's white, and there's high visibility. Now if you're shooting images that are extracted on a green screen, you don't want to use the white or the high visibility because it will fill those transparent areas in, so you'll need to use transparency. However, if you're not shooting with extracted images or you're not processing extracted images, you've got two other choices. The first is the white space fill. Now the main purpose of this is if you already have images that are high key or against a solid white background, for instance website images, and if you're running a batch of images in Portrait Crop and you don't care if you zoom out too far and you just want to fill those in with white because it's not going to matter because it's white against white anyway, then go ahead and use that setting. But in most cases you'll want to use this high visibility setting. Now what this enables you to do is quickly view a folder of images and spot if some were cropped closer in camera than they were with Portrait Crop. And so I'll just show you here that we've got a folder of images, and it's easy to spot out one image that has this high visibility fill, so you could go in and recrop that a little bit closer. A couple more things to point out here. First is if you are recording Portrait Crop in an action and you want this high visibility fill, make sure that when you record the action you have high visibility selected. Even if you don't see any empty space in your image, but you're recording the action and you're going to batch process that, make sure you switch that to high visibility, because then in the action when it plays back it will know if there's empty space to fill that with this high visibility fill. And one last thing to point out here is if you are running the batch process using the Portrait Crop dedicated batch processor, it's going to ignore the setting that is in the preset. Instead it's going to use what's in the batch processor, and this will override the preset. And the reason I did it this way when I made the software was because you might have a preset that you want to use for green screen images that were already extracted, and in that case the preset will be set up with transparency. However, you might want to use that same preset with images that don't have transparency, and then you'll want to use the high visibility fill when you do the batch. And that way you don't have to have double presets set up, and you can select your empty space fill in the batch processor. And then for instance if you have green screen images that were already cut out, you would select transparency and run that preset. If you have images that are not green screen, then you could select the high visibility and run the same preset, and then it overrides the preset with this setting. Anyway, thanks for watching, and if you're interested at all in Portrait Crop, please be sure to visit our website. That is pixnub.com.